Hey guys, welcome to your 6th Java tutorial. In this tutorial, we're just going to be working with the for loop. To begin, let's go ahead, go to File, New, Java Project. Once we have that loaded, let's go ahead and write Java Lesson 6 and hit OK. Inside of here, hit the source folder and let's create a package, com.devclub.lesson6. And in here, let's just go ahead and add a new class. I'm just going to name this main. Inside of our main class, let's go ahead and make our main method public static void public static main public static void main string args. And now once we are inside here, we're going to ask the user a question. We're going to say system.out.println. How many times would you like to be told you are awesome? And then we're going to allow the user to give us some input. In order to get input from our user, we're going to have to go below our package and type import, and then we're going to type java.util, and we're going to type scanner. In order to use this scanner, we have to create an object from it. So let's go ahead and create scanner, and then you can name it whatever you want. So I put SC just to be lazy, equals new scanner, system.in. So let's create ourselves some new variables. So we're going to say int count. And now what we're going to say is we're going to have a for loop, and it's going to say for, we're going to declare a new variable in our conditional statement. And how a conditional statement looks is we have int I equal to 0. So we have one variable that we declare with the loop. Now we're going to take this variable, as long as I is less than or equal to what the user inputs, which would be that count, we're going to increment I. And then the content of the loop will actually be within this small bracket here. We're going to say count equals next se.next int. By the way, so now we've declared a variable, we have the user put in a number, and now we're going to ask the user, now we're going to say system.out.println, you are awesome. Let's go ahead and run it. I'm going to be told I'm awesome 8 times. Alright, it shows us this. In order to have a count variable, let's go ahead and we can take I and then plus, and that actually will have the number, and then we'll just have a little dot, so there's 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot. Let's say we do not want it to say you are awesome on the 15th time. So it's going to print, but it's also going to say if I equals 4. So when our input equals 4, we're going to say system.out.println I equals 4. And just to be sure that it equals 4, we're going to plus I. So now when we run it, it's going to say you are awesome. But on the 4th time, it's going to say I equals that number 4. I'm going to be told 9 times. On that 4th time, well, when it loops through, it checks afterwards, so if we look at our program logic, it's actually the 5th time. Because if we start here, we're at 0. We're at 0, which is less than or equal to the count, which is given to the from the user by being 9. It's still less than that. It'll loop through here, but does not notice until it's been through here and I is actually equal to 5 that this if statement works. To change our program logic around a little bit, alright, go ahead and close that off and show you guys this again. How many times would I like to be told I'm awesome? 9. But now we see on this 4th time here that just changing the logic of our code from having our if statement, our very simple if statement, move from here, from the bottom below our system.out towards the bottom of our loop to the top of the loop, actually change the position within the loop. On our next tutorial, we're going to be manipulating this program further. So we are going to take a while statement and control what the user puts in. So how many times would you like to be told you're awesome? If the user enters a 0 or a number less than 0, we're going to throw an error at them and say, hey, your input was not understood, try again. And we're going to show you the break statements and break out of a loop and then repeat the loop until you go here and you actually have the correct input that you want to use. Alright guys, in this tutorial we just basically summarized the very simple for loop, which is summarized by a conditional statement here. So while int I is this conditional statement, less than count, this could be greater than or equal to, does not equal, and then we have a variable that increments. You can increment it in here, or you can increment it twice in here. So let's go ahead and increment I twice. You'll see that there will be less repetition of the numbers. So I'll be told I put that I'm awesome 9 times, but you see how it skips now? Or we could create an infinite loop by by decrementing, and you'll see an infinite loop because it'll never stop, because if you can just see it going on and on, going nuts over here, because of the fact that our loop increments itself and then decrements a variable, so it never actually allows it to meet this conditional statement which ends the loop, and that's what creates a infinite loop. Alright guys, in our next tutorial we'll just manipulate this program further to make a while loop control this port, and then put more if statements in there to control our data further. Alright guys, I'll see you then.